Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Fantasy News, where... Who keeps giving me the wrong script? Alright, guys, welcome back to the channel, where I will be wrapping up my February of reading. Now, I do apologize in advance. I don't have most of these books with me. I read some of them in my old house, and then they got put in a box. Here we are. So I'm back in the basement for yet another video, as is my life now. This is my life now. So let's first off talk about The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. So this was my foray into the First Law universe. I don't know what that hand motion was. We're just going to roll with it. I really enjoyed this. It was a 4 out of 5 for me, I guess you could say. I talked about it in my review, but I thought the whole, there's no plot was wildly exaggerated. There is certainly several different plot threads going on. You have all these different POV characters. It's just not it's not the Wheel of Time. It's not Faithful in the Fallen. There isn't here's all your characters and quest. It's just not that, it's not set up that way. They're all on their own plot threads. They kind of pass each other. They may be in the same location at one point or another, but these are just very much different character stories being told in this universe. At least for this one. I've been told that Before They Are Hanged has a lot more plot. We'll see. I'm reading it tomorrow, the day after I record this, but this will be, obvious standouts, as you probably know by now. Glokta, probably the most interesting character of the whole book. He, used to be this great swordsman. He is kind of not taken seriously anymore. He's an interrogator. He's missing teeth. He walks with a cane. He's not a very nice person, as most people in this universe are not. He tortures the shit out of people. He has his giant bodyguards beat the shit out of people. He's not a nice guy, but he's interesting. And honestly, the audiobook was brilliant for this book. I don't know anything about Pacey as an audiobook narrator. He was great. But Glokta specifically, just the way that Joe Abercrombie wrote these characters, and they have their internal monologue and then their actual conversations, that was captured so well in the audio, especially for Glokta. His voice was a 10 out of 10 for me. Just everything, the choices that were made for that character in the audio really brought that character to life for me. So I'm happy that I both read and did the audiobook, and I highly recommend that people do the audiobook for that, at least the first book, and see if you like it. I thought it was great. Logan is another character that stood out simply because he's talked about so much. He is a little bit more mysterious. He does have a dark past. I feel like he's going to be expanded on a lot more in the following novels, so I'm definitely interested in learning more of him. Baez, very, very mysterious magic user. None of his magic was explained. I don't know what he's capable of. I do know he's capable of at least one thing, which is just making people explode. So I want to learn more about his magic and just all the other characters. Jazal, he was kind of just like a little douchey prince for the most part, but he's probably the most morally right person in the world. He has some crappy thoughts, but he doesn't really act on a lot of things. He's not Logan, where he's murdering lots of people. He's not Glokta, who is literally torturing people to death and blackmailing them for the Archlector. So the characters are definitely the strong point of this. The characters in the dialogue, world building, and all that stuff kind of takes a backseat. It's not really that important to this story, so definitely looking forward to continuing that with Before They're Hanged, starting soon. Next up was Wrath, book 4 of the Faithful in the Fallen series, and my wrapping up of the first quartet of the Banished Lands by John Gwynne, and that was absolutely fantastic. Knocked it out of the park. Very rarely does a series end on such a high note where it's my favorite of the series, but honestly, guys, if you have not read Faithful in the Fallen, I had some issues with Malice. Valor fixed it. Ruin built on that. Wrath is up here. The series blew me away. I love the characters. So, I mean, there's so many of them, but Corbin, Gar, Corbin, Corlin, Brenna, freaking Nether, Rafe, freaking Evnis. I mean, the list goes on. Every single character was just done so well. I loved everything about the series. The action is totally up my alley. It was absolutely fantastic. I'm going to turn Discord off because it's beeping. Just everything about this, I love the prose. I love how approachable the writing style is. I love how action-packed it is. I mean, Wrath is relentless. This is truly an action-centric book and series, honestly. And I expect the following trilogy to be the same. And I really want to read Shadow of the Gods because I have an arc for that. But that might be happening soon. But yeah, Wrath is great. Faithful and Fallen is great. All the character work, wow. McKean was fantastic. How am I forgetting my favorite character? Then I have this one here. All Systems Red by Martha Wells. So this novella, sci-fi, you know, super short, approachable, very easy to read in a couple of hours even. Even if you read slowly, you'll burn through this. Nice light read. I thought it was good, and that's about it. This has been touted as like some magnificent piece of sci-fi. It was cool. I think it's hyped a little bit too much, especially being a novella. It's so short. It's like 150 pages. They're not that long. The word count's tiny. I didn't connect necessarily to Murderbot. I do think Murderbot is interesting, and I want to see more of this world. And based on the way that this novella ended, I do want to get the rest of them and see where it goes, because 4 novellas and then I believe 5 and then 6 are going to be full novels. There's definitely enough content there across the 4 novellas and the 2 other books that there could be something great here. I just want to continue it and see for myself. I didn't think it was like that cute or anything that Murderbot just wants to watch Sanctuary Moon. Okay, you hacked your governor module and you just want to watch soap operas, like, cool. I hope there's more to it than that, because there's a lot that you could do with a, I guess, sentient robot that has overridden its programming. So that would be, I mean, the possibilities are kind of limitless there, so I want to see where the story goes. But overall, Murderbot was good. It won't take long to read it, so read it. Next up was Blood Rights, Book 6 of the Dresden Files. Now, I will have a full review coming out for that on Thursday, but long story short, it was a good Dresden book. It was not a great Dresden book. There are some excellent moments in this, especially character moments and family moments, but overall, it was just okay. Like I said, it was good. I do like how it expanded on the vampire courts, and every book is really focusing on like a specific element of the story overall. Like, yeah, you have like your noir investigative, you know, Sherlock Holmes thing that's happening, but there's always little things happening behind the scenes, and you're getting more and more of that as the story goes on and the series expands. So I'm definitely expecting this to be a full-blown, damn near epic fantasy by the time that this is over, because I'm on book 7 now, and there's going to be like 23 of them, something like that. I have a lot to go. I love Harry as a character. I love a lot of the side characters. I don't really have a character I don't like right now, like reading them. They're all interesting, and I love his writing style. Joe Abercrombie, ugh. Jim Butcher is hilarious, and I love his humor. I love his wit. I love so much of the dialogue in these books. They are fantastic, and I honestly laugh out loud at least once every single novel, so good stuff. And last but not least is this very bland and generic Kindle cover. Focus on the book. Lord of Chaos, Book 6 of Wheel of Time. I came back, guys. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. But yeah, Lord of Chaos, very, very excellent Wheel of Time book. Definitely a slower burn. This was certainly more enjoyable to me than Fires of Heaven, as good as the final third of that book was, and the character moments in that. Lord of Chaos, you get a ton of Rand, you get a ton of Aiel and Aes Sedai and war, especially towards the end. Wow, Robert Jordan knows how to finish a freaking book. I love Rand as a character now. Holy crap. I mean, it took me until The Shadow Rising to really enjoy him as a character, but he's fantastic. Matt is great. Perrin continues to be awesome. Fael, I literally couldn't stand this entire book. She bugged the ever-living shit out of me. But apparently she gets a little bit better. Overall, though, I mean, I'll have a dedicated review for this next week, but this is definitely up there. Probably slotted right behind Shadow Rising and in front of the Great Hunt for me. I think it would be Shadow Rising, Lord of Chaos, Great Hunt, and then, I don't know, Great Hunt or Eye of the World. I love Eye of the World, man. Anyway, definitely looking forward to continuing next month with A Crown of Swords, which I also hear is excellent, and I think that's right before the slog starts. 8 to 10 is the slog, I think. Who knows? But yeah, I'll have a dedicated review for this coming up in about a week. So definitely look forward to that. I will jump into all kinds of spoiler talk. I don't want to do a whole lot of that here just because it's a Wheel of Time book. I mean, giving it 2 minutes would not be fair. So definitely look forward to that. So that is everything that I read in February. But I would love to know what you read in February. What were some of your favorites? What were some of your least favorites? What are you looking forward to most in March? And of course, like and subscribe. As always, do join me on Patreon, though, if you want to support the channel financially. That is, of course, always optional, but always greatly appreciated. I would love to see you in Discord, though, or at least commenting down below and letting me know your thoughts. So that's going to do it, guys. I will see you in the next video.